So today I'm not just talking about food security, I'm actually planting it. I'm getting my entire autumn and winter garden in, focusing on crops that will actually feed us over the coming months. And if you've been thinking about growing your own food too, this is what I'd be planting right now. I'm also planting one thing today that's incredibly simple and so important to be growing right now, and I'll show you that in a bit. After everything I shared in my last video, I knew I needed to actually take the next step, because it's one thing to talk about food security, but it's another thing to start creating it for yourself. And it doesn't have to be perfect or huge. Even a small garden like this can make a big impact to your food bill. Right now it still looks pretty bare, but this is exactly where it starts. I'm amending the garden beds so that they are full of nutrients for the new crops to go in. Chicken manure, worm castings, blood and bone, which I then dig into the existing soil before I top up the beds with more garden soil so that they are full again. I decided to dig out this California Wonder capsicum and put it into a pot for the winter. I started this capsicum from seed 2 summers ago, and now it's going into its second winter. We will see how it goes and if it keeps producing. I needed to move it because I need this space for my brassicas. I found some old bags of compost in the shed that I added to this garden bed, along with the compost that I made in my compost bins. The next day, I topped the beds up with Rocky Point garden soil and Active Grow. I bought 50-litre bags, which were really heavy, but so much more economical than buying the bags from Bunnings. The garden soil is $17 per bag and the Active Grow is $13 per bag, for double the size of the other brands that you get at Bunnings, and the quality of this brand is so much better. The Active Grow is a soil improver, so it's good to mix with the garden soil for extra nutrients if your beds are lacking them, and mine were pretty depleted after the summer crops came out. I quickly tidied up this bed, harvested the spring onions at the end of the bed, and harvested some of the holy basil seeds of this plant before ripping it out for it to go into the compost bin. I then added cow manure to this bed and mixed it in. Then I found some Asian jumping worms in this bed and threw them onto the road because Asian jumping worms are the worst. I then continued filling up with more Rocky Point Active Grow and garden soil. Then it was finally time to start planting. Okay, so the first thing I want to get in the ground today is the garlic. So I've got my bulbs here. I've got Ken Large, Italian Pink, and Glen Large, which are all for this region. They do well in a subtropical climate, and I've got some leftover elephant garlic bulbs that I saved from last year's harvest. Okay, so we're going to plant these bulbs about 10 centimeters apart and in rows of about 15 to 20 centimeters. So we'll do a few rows and see how many we get in. So I'm going to start with Italian Pink. So these are from Happy Valley Seeds, and I bought these a few months ago and had them in the freezer chilling for the last 4 weeks or so, just to see if they do a bit better this year, because I wasn't overly happy with them last year. So hopefully this year we'll have more luck, but we did get a lot of rain at the start when I planted these out last year. Hopefully we won't have that issue this year. So I'm just going to separate these cloves, and we're going to choose the biggest ones, because the bigger the clove, the bigger the bulb we get in the end. So see what we got. So that's a good one, that's a good one. They're not too bad, they're okay. Put this back in the bag so we don't mix it up. That one's fine, that one's good, that one's a little bit small, that one's okay, that'll do. These are a bit, I'll try them anyway. You know me, I hate throwing anything out. I always like to give everything a go. Okay, these ones look a bit better. That one's okay, that one's a bit small, it's okay. Some people soak their garlic, but I've heard that it doesn't really make a difference, so I don't bother. But I'm hoping that putting them in the fridge for a few weeks will help them. Okay, let's see how we go with those. See how many rows we get. We're going to plant the garlic with the base down and pointy end up. I've just got my thing here, which is a good size trowel. I don't want to go too close to here because I'm going to pop some snow peas in to go up the trellis. And we want to plant these quite deep. I'm going down probably about 10 centimeters. I'll leave that side as well. for something else to grow. So that's a good size one. 1, 2. Hopefully I haven't done these too deep. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is I think what I did last year. I think they're gonna have a lot of garlic. I may have purchased too many. Alright, I think that's all I'm going to do for the Italian pink because that's 3 rows and I still have some cloves here, so I might pop these in a grow bag later because I want to get the Glen Large and the Ken Large in. So I'll pop that there. And then we'll do Glen Large next, which is probably the best one for this climate. Glen Large, put that there so we know where that row starts. Glen Large. Putting your garlic in the fridge for a few weeks before planting tricks the bulb into thinking it has gone through a cold winter or dormancy period, which encourages it to split into cloves and develop bulbs, especially when planting in warmer climates. I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to put these. These look much bigger. I might do an extra of these and just do a whole bed of garlic. Which is kind of annoying because I wanted half this bed to put brassicas in. But it looks like I purchased way too many garlic bulbs. I should have just bought one bulb of each rather than 2. And that means I'm gonna have to convince Kevin that I want to build another garden bed over there where the compost bins are, so that's gonna be fun because that'd be a good spot to grow more brassicas because it gets the morning sun, and Kevin doesn't like giving up his grass. These are really fat, which is what you want. Because they're so big, there might not be enough anyway to do some extra rows. Works out fine. Keep forgetting where I put them. Okay, I think that's all of them. So I've only really got 3 left out of all that, so I won't bother doing another row. And then I can fit at least 2 broccoli here on the end. Okay, so we shall just cover them up. And hopefully in a few weeks, we'll start seeing them sprout. Done. So I still have these 3 elephant garlic. I might put these in a pot somewhere else, I think. Okay, I'm just going to give these a water in just to settle all the soil around the bulb so there's no air pockets. So I planted those about 10 centimeters deep. You can plant them between 5 and 10 centimeters. If you're in a cooler climate, 10 centimeters at least, but in warmer climates you can go for 5 centimeters deep. And we're going to pop some mulch on top of these once I've watered them to keep the moisture in the soil. So I've been wanting to get the broccoli into the garden for the last 2 weeks. So now is my chance. They're not Not as big as I'd like them to be. Some of them are good, like this one here, it's good, but look at this one, it's like falling over. So I don't know. I really struggle with growing broccoli from seed, but we'll get them in the ground anyway. See how they go. I'll put that nice big one there. I want to fill this whole bed with broccoli and cauliflower because I can enclose it with the fly screen to keep the cabbage butterfly moths out. But they'll be leaving once it starts cooling down anyway. So I'm gonna spread these. I should be able to get 9 in here, so 1 in each half. So that's about 30 centimeters, I think. And I'm also gonna start another round of seedlings this afternoon too. Now the issue I have here is I have chives here in the middle that are left over from summer, so kind of in the way. Plant here, here and here. Bit of a pain here for this screen door, but I can take it off later anyway. Once butterfly things are gone, cabbage, whatever they're called, cabbage moths, the ones that eat your broccoli. Now I don't know if this one is going to last. It's looking very sad, but I'm going to throw it in anyway and see how it goes. It may come good. We'll just put the soil right up around it to hold it up. See if it can come back. This one's looking pretty sad too. I might put a stronger looking one in. The best looking ones, and then I'll start some more. So I have some cabbage here that I am not sure where I'm going to put. Actually, I might pop it on the end here, and hopefully by the time the cauliflower are ready, I can swap them over, or the cauliflower can go in there. This is golden acre cabbage. And these seedlings grew very well. I'll close it back up now so that the butterfly, the cabbage butterfly moth, the cabbage butterfly does not get in here and eat the brassicas. So I left this capsicum in here to overwinter, and it's still producing. It's actually doing better now than it was in summer. And now that the grasshoppers have eased up because it's cooling down, I might have a chance of harvesting some. This is the Gold Beauty, I think it's called. So they turn yellow, but yeah, you can harvest them green also. But yeah, there's quite a few in there. So yeah, I'm just gonna let that go. It's looking quite good now. Didn't really like summer much, but it's coming good now. A bit of a spot on here, but it seems to be improving, so I'll leave that one through winter and see how it goes. You can see we've had to do some running repairs on the greenhouse. This pine, that's where the rats tried to get in last year. But this pine is starting to rot a bit, so we've just done that temporarily. But I'm going to make a new one out of hardwood timber soon, because this greenhouse is very handy. It's about 3 years old now, so it's done well to last this long for pine, which is a softwood. So over here in my raised bed, I've got my cauliflower planted out 2 weeks ago. So I've got 3 cauliflower in here. I've got some coriander at the front and some dill at the back. So they're going nicely there, and they get good sun here during winter. So this garden bed that I planted out a few weeks ago are doing really well. So the pak choi's come up, but something is eating it. I don't know if it's slugs, caterpillars or grasshoppers. I'm gonna do something to cover them soon. Coriander here is doing well. This is the cos lettuce, which has come up nicely on that side, but it's a bit sparse over here. So I'll plant some more seeds soon. And the 3 rows of carrots are doing very well. So I'm happy with this bed. And the tomatoes are climbing up over the trellis, but they keep getting eaten by birds, which is a pain. And I need to harvest this cos lettuce back here because I think it is about to bolt. But yeah, really happy with this bed at the moment. That's going really well. I've also got all my strawberries planted out in these hanging pots along the roof here. So this is Redland Joy variety of strawberries, so these should start producing flowers soon and some fruit. So that's just a nice little extra space to grow stuff just hanging off the roof there. You can literally grow food anywhere, and I am just in love with these Cosmos apricotta flowers. And these are just the pink ones. They are just gorgeous at the moment, in full bloom. So the one thing that I mentioned earlier that is incredibly simple to grow and can produce a huge amount of food is potatoes. They might not seem that exciting, but potatoes are one of those crops that can really feed you. They're filling, they're versatile, and you can grow a surprising amount in a very small space. And the best part is they're actually beginner friendly. You don't need anything fancy, just some soil and a bit of space, even a pot or a grow bag. And I think that's what makes them so important, because when you start growing food like this, food that actually sustains you, it shifts something. It goes from being a hobby to something a little bit more meaningful. If things ever did get really difficult, this is the kind of crop that you'd be really grateful that you were growing. And this is where it all begins. There's something really grounding about this. Just being outside, getting your hands in the soil, and knowing that what you're planting now will feed you later. I don't think this is about becoming fully self-sufficient overnight, but even growing a small amount of your own food, it gives you a sense of security that's really hard to explain until you feel it. If you've been thinking about starting a garden, take this as your sign to just start, even if it's small, because right now, growing your own food isn't just a hobby, it's becoming something a lot more important. Even something simple as a potato can turn into a real source of food, and this is just the beginning of what this garden will become in the coming weeks and months. Thanks so much for spending some time with me in the garden today, and I hope this video has inspired you to start your own garden or simply some lettuce in a pot. Every little bit counts right now.